this teacher, got in some trouble, right?
Yeah.
Got his So if y'all don't know, there was this teacher. I think it was a middle school teacher, high school teacher,
something like that. Yeah.
He was in class on work time getting his hair taken out by some of his students. And as you can tell, social media had a lot to say about it. We asked you guys what your thoughts on it was, and let's read some of the answers we got.
All right, cool. So one of the answers that we got was from Fred Lee. Fred Lee said, "It's crazy that this is even a question. Why is everything sexualized?" So then we replied, "So you're okay with it?" And he said, "If society wasn't already going the way that it is, then yeah. But the way that things are now, no, simply because it only takes one person to misinterpret and something to build a narrative."
Yes and no. I mean, like, which way is society going into? Like, what does he mean by that?
I think it's just society is pretty much just like hypersexualized in terms of like they not even hypersexualized in the traditional sense, but we have this I guess this victim mindset as a society. Like we're just looking for the first opportunity for someone to be a victim.
True.
And also there's a lot of weird things going on in Hollywood to where people are kind of coming out and saying that they have been abused of some sorts, So I think right now it just kind of has everybody on edge, and that's kind of what I took from it. Like the climate of the society right now. Yeah,
the social climate is very uneasy right now, especially in the school system.
Absolutely,
especially with the men too.
Right.
So I think, or not even just school system. I think just any system where a man is in power, and there's women that are around him. I think that there's tend to be like a little bit of hesitation around that. But another one was from Fernie Hardaway. He said, "Shit's weird as fuck. Honestly, as a father to a daughter, I would have to fight him."
You would have fought the teacher?
Yeah, he would have fought the teacher.
You have any kids, Joe?
No, I don't have no kids.
You got kids?
So then we asked, do you think he should get fired? And he said, if this is an all the time thing, then yes. Pretty much. So
what do you think?
To be honest, like, shit, I know how my father is with my sister, so you know what I'm saying? Like, a father is not going for that. But they were saying how he's a father figure to them. I was listening to that. So it's weird. I mean, if he's not doing anything with them, can't like really say nothing, but come on, man, you jeopardizing your job.
Well, he actually did. He got fired.
Exactly.
So he did jeopardize his job. He's facing the consequences of his actions. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, I know for a fact he didn't think this was going to be the end result when he went live and was getting his hair taken out by his students. But, we live in an era now where like enough outrage will just force your job to fire you because they just don't want to deal with the shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, it's kind of not even enough. I think just literally just outrage. Yeah. Just, somebody speaking out about it. It's just kind of backs your job into the corner to where they feel like they have to make a solution, whether it be drastic or not. Angela Davis said, honestly, it's only inappropriate because they're not in cosmetology school. They're like in high school or something. But he said all of his students' parents follow his social media and they all know about what's going on. A lot of the kids look at him as like a father figure, and he doesn't want the kid, and he doesn't want kids. So he looks at all of his students as his kids. There's nothing sexual about anything going on here. And there are like 5 girls on his head at the same time.
You know what? I'll say this, right? Obviously, we're upset because we're putting ourselves in that situation, right? Or a majority of the people that are upset with this teacher is they're putting themselves in a situation that it's actually not happening to them or their kids, right?
Right.
So if what she said is true, right, and the kids' parents are aware of what's going on,
right,
and they're fine with it, then we should just shut the fuck up, right? Because that's really what it comes down to, right? If the kids' parents have an issue with this, then you have to respect that because
absolutely,
like, that's like a right there situation, right? But we're we're doing that thing where we're getting mad for someone else,
right?
And we feel like, you should get mad because I'm mad,
right? I'm enraged, so you should get upset. No, I do agree with them in saying that the setting was inappropriate. Honestly, this actually kind of touches home for me because I actually was in a similar situation as well, like at one point in time. So at my my previous employer, I was getting my hair taken out by a female manager like while on shift, and it was like kind of in an open area. Okay. And some way, somehow, my boss heard about it, and she pulled me into the office. It was like, this is completely inappropriate. You're not supposed to do this. And
Yeah, but wait, but you were an adult.
I'm an adult getting my hair taken out by another adult. Yeah.
I don't think that's the same.
So, I mean, yes and no. So I think
was she kissing your neck when she
No.
like was she licking your ears like she was just taking her hair out like
right. Just taking my hair out. No, nothing
just
sexual.
in front of people.
Yeah, just in front, like in a common area. So
the
there's probably
people, were the other people white?
No.
Really?
No, it was just like a mixed
Okay.
demographic. So she pulls me to the office. She was like, I know like this is harmless, but it's just inappropriate. If anything, this should have been done behind like closed doors or something. But really and truly, this is not the place for the area that you did it was inappropriate, and you should not be doing this at work.
I feel like if you went behind closed doors, then that makes it really inappropriate.
I get that.
Now it takes you could put your imagination to it because like, yo, what are they really doing in there?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, but at the time I had my own office, so
Okay.
like for me to do it on the floor was dumb. Like it was just like, okay, I'm here now.
Like,
I have like my
it was dumb,
Right.
but to me it's like, if you as a manager or as an employee, right, and then a female goes into your office and they're in there for like about an hour with the door closed. Now I could like the gears are thinking like, as employees, you're like, what the fuck going on in there, right? Because now there's no room for imagination now, right?
Yeah.
Or like you did it in front of everyone, so everyone
Right.
knows what you guys did. Like, and it was like, okay, he just took his hair out, or she took his hair out. Like nothing happened.
Right.
But if you did that shit in the office for like an hour straight or whatever, like now it's like, oh, I know what's going on. I feel like that would actually make it worse.
It's funny. I saw her side. I definitely saw where she was coming from, because it's like I said, perception is everything, and I think that to see two people that are like holding a position kind of doing something that should not be done on during office hours, I think she had a right to have a conversation with me. I wasn't offended by it, but in terms of this, I think it's like, I don't think it's inappropriate. I think it's just an inappropriate setting. Like I don't think that he should have done it there at school. So Synethia, I'm sorry I butchered your name. Synethia Robinson said it's inappropriate. I heard his statement, and although the intentions are not malicious and it's not appropriate, it is not. Although his intentions are not malicious, it is not appropriate. Anytime you have to record yourself for your safety and students, you're wrong.
What do you think?
What I think about it, I mean, it's like, why are you recording yourself and getting your hair braided by these girls? You know what I'm saying?
I think she might have a good point. Probably is to protect themselves, because it's like if they did it without any proof, right? They could say anything. Where he's like, all right, I'm doing it on live. Everyone sees what's going on. This is innocent. They're just taking my hair out. This can't get misconstrued or confused, which completely backfired. Mm-hmm. But I think his intentions, I guess. But again, it's like, if you feel like you kind of need proof that you're not doing something wrong, you're kind of already thinking in the wrong direction.
Right.
I don't think he was thinking deep into it.
Nah, I think he definitely he thought he did something harmless.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just as a safety measure, I'll record myself.
But in the core of it, right? It is something harmless. Like I get braids, I mean, like I've had someone take my hair out. Like it wasn't a sexual thing. It was just like it's a pain in the ass to take your hair out. You know what I mean? Like you need someone to take your hair out.
You need someone to, especially box braids.
Yeah,
That's just irritating.
It's a bunch of them.
I also think that these memes and stuff like that, these Facebook posts and that people be sharing and shit, I think that has something to do with it too. Because on Facebook, I'm always seeing something like, just a stupid ass post like, getting my hair braided. You already know what girls they want to do and shit like that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always seeing stupid ass.
That's what
Facebook.
I'm trying to learn how to retwist some dreads. Right.
You go over to the girl house, she don't even know how to do hair.
You're just ass naked, ready to retwist your dress and shit. Sade said, here for the comments. So then we asked, what are your thoughts on the situation?
That's just a nosy, messy comment right there. Like you didn't even want to like give any actual feedback. Like you
just here for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I just be like looking at the comments just for it.
I know. I actually I do it too. I just don't write the comments. Just here for the comments.
Just here for the comments. So she actually made her own personal post about it, right? So she said, thoughts on a black teacher having his girl students take out his hair at the end of the class recorded. And she commented under that post and said, personally, as a teenage student, I wouldn't have touched his nappy ass head. Number one, right? Okay. Number two was, although I do understand it's a cultural thing. Number three was, it's borderline grooming or could be viewed as.
That's a big word.
Number four is, no one had a problem when a black had a problem when the black girl student laid the white male's teacher's edges in that one video.
So I mean, there is always that racial bias that happens on the internet, and it's usually by your own people at times. You know what I mean? Because I've seen the video that she's talking about. I've seen a white teacher get a haircut in class. You know what I mean? And no one gave a fuck. No, he didn't get fired, right?
That's wild.
But it was a boy giving him a haircut. It wasn't a girl. But there is that. But if you're aware of the possibilities, that happen when you post something online, especially, if you're a race that's targeted, right? You just gotta move smarter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not fair. Obviously, it's not fair, right? But if that's the reality of it, you just have to accept it for what it is right now,
right,
and move accordingly.
Absolutely. So the second to last one was from Dante May. Dante said, "What are these kids learning from? What are these kids learning from besides? Oh, what are these kids learning from this? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Excuse them, guys.
What are these kids learning from this besides a teacher not knowing how to set boundaries with impressionable young girls that he's guiding?"
No, that's a good point, because obviously, if there's any boundaries between him and his students, they're as distant. You know what I mean? Like they're very comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, there wasn't like any teachers I was really comfortable touching or getting touched by when I was in school.
I think there was a clear boundary in most situations.
Yeah, there was no like. Actually, I'm lying. There was one teacher in high school that I was really close with. I did have his actual cell phone number. I've been to his house. But he was also our track coach. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, he was very cool with like all the track athletes, girls and boys. And like we'd go over his house on the weekends, like we'd run. He had made us dinner before. And nothing inappropriate happened.
Kind of like a mentor.
What?
Like a mentor.
He was a mentor. He actually like helped a lot of like the kids out, like with more like with life shit. And no one, again, everyone in the school knew about it. My parents knew about it. Like there was no problem. My parents would drop me off at his house. They picked me up, and there was no issue because nothing inappropriate ever happened. But it was also at a different era where like, these teacher and student relationships weren't a problem like they are now, right? Because like every other month now, right, you see a teacher, usually female teacher, getting caught having sex with her own students, right? So with that kind of environment, being around, like you definitely have to be smarter. Even if you're a pure-hearted person, which I think he was. Like I don't think he had any malicious or perverted like intent with what he did. But with the social climate being what it is right now, especially for men, right? Even though it's mostly female teachers getting caught having sex with their students, and you're not a female teacher, you're a male, like you should still be weary.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever want to put that possibility in someone's head.
I mean, would it have been the same thing do you feel it would have been the same thing if a bunch of male students was taken down of female teachers here?
I think the danger would be the same, but I don't think the backlash would. Because I think the problem is whenever we see a hot teacher do something inappropriate, right? Like as fucked up it is, most guys are like, fuck, I wish that was me in high school.
Yo, I went to Job Corps. I've seen some shit